guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your humble host, Jeff Turnipole, and as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio. All right, let's get into the rundown of topics I will be discussing today. The Bengals, they actually did an interview with a potential draftee through FaceTime. Amazing. You can do that. Like, you can have the draft like that. Fox Sports Ohio will be replaying the 1975 World Series. And the NFL has come to agreement to add 2 more playoff teams to this coming season. And Trevon Scott is very disappointed in the way his senior season ended. I don't blame him. All right, let's get into this with the Bengals. The Bengals had a pre-draft meeting with Antonio Winfield Jr. The Bengals have revamped their secondary. It was the prime objective this past month in free agency. The guys they've signed have been unbelievable. They signed Trey Waynes, Mackenzie Alexander, and Von Bell, all in the secondary. Like I said, the Bengals will feature 3 new starters on the back end of this year. And if the draft falls a certain way, they could add some depth. Maybe Winfield. Like I said, they had a pre-draft meeting via FaceTime. This is from a source, Justin Mello, of the Draft Wire. This was with Winfield, try this again. With Winfield's bloodline, which you're like, who's Winfield? Well, who's his bloodline? It's not hard to find how good Winfield can be. He's the son of 3-time Pro Bowler Antonio Winfield and a native of Akron, Ohio. Winfield Jr. only played 2 full seasons of his 4 at Minnesota. He dealt with hamstring and foot injuries, but he recorded 58 solo tackles and 7 interceptions. Now, the NFL scouting combine was where a lot of guys can make their money. They run fast, they jump high. Well, this is what he did. In the 40-yard dash, he ran a 4.45. He has a 36-inch vertical leap, and the broad jump was 12.2. He's 5'9", 230 pounds. Now you're like, we just signed all these guys. Why in the world do we want to get Winfield? I'm not saying they're going to get him. This article isn't saying they're going to get him. It's just my point of the due diligence and what the Bengals are doing to prepare themselves for this coming season. It's like nothing I've ever seen. All right, I'll get back to that in a minute. Winfield is classified as a secondary, but has played all over, classified as a safety, but has played all over the secondary. With versatility and instincts is why the Bengals should be interested in Winfield. Now, what I was saying before is all of this is coming from the Bengals, and we've never heard other people talk about the preparation that the Bengals are doing for the draft, the preparation they did for free agents, the signing of the free agents, and the guys who actually decided to come play here. So, I think I said this on yesterday's show. I really do think that Mike Brown is stepping back, and Katie and Duke Tobin and Zach Taylor, I think those 3 are really working well together and have a plan and moving forward with it. Now, do I think Winfield is a great player? I have no idea. It's an article I found about how the Bengals are looking at guys that potentially they could get there. I mean, falls right, maybe they draft him, maybe they don't. But it's just the idea that they are going out there and doing the work that I don't think they have gotten credit for in the past. Well, probably because maybe they didn't do it before, but they're getting credit for it now. And that's just great to hear about your Bengals. I mean, I love hearing good news about the Bengals and good stuff that they're doing, because it's been so many years that the Bengals are cheap and the Bengals don't have enough scouting department. The Bengals don't do this. The Bengals don't do that. I'm finding article after article after article of stuff that the Bengals are doing, and it's not just from Bengals reporters. These are from national media, which I rip on the national media all the time. But these guys are actually doing their homework about what the Bengals are doing. So it's just very exciting on what the future holds for the Bengals. I feel like we're turning a corner here, and we're turning into a very well-run organization, which, when we're in 5 straight playoffs, lots of teams or lots of media said that about us. We might be hearing that again very, very soon. All right. And as always, this show and every show is brought to you by T Properties. What's T Properties? T Properties. It's a rental management team and a rental company. So if you're looking for a place to rent, condo, apartment, house, whatever, go on their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com and check out their available properties. They're all listed there. They have a very cool thing where, you can go in the house and sometimes you have the landlord there and he's walking around with you. It's kind of uncomfortable, whatever. Well, now they have the system where you can type in your information and they will give you the code to the lockbox, and you can go in and you can check the property out by yourself. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like it, you can move forward. It's great. Now, if you have a rental property that you are tired of messing with, give T Properties a call. They'll take care of you. You sit back and count your money. So like I said, again, tpropertiesllc.com. Check them out. All right. As I said before, the NFL has officially expanded the playoffs to 14 teams. We will see 2 more wild card games in the 2020 postseason. Here's the breakdown now. Bear with me and try to listen to all this. Okay. There will be 2 additional wild card teams, one in each, one in the AFC and one in the NFC. The number 1 seed in each conference will receive a bye in the wild card round. That's the only bye. So the second team has no bye. They got to play in the wild card now. So that puts an even bigger emphasis on, if you have a shot at getting that number 1 seed, you want to get that number 1 seed. Because anytime you can play less playoff games and advance, the better. Okay. The remaining division champs in each conference with the best record will be the number 2, 3, and 4 seeds, followed by the next 3 teams per conference with the best record to be seeded 5, 6, and 7. The AFC and NFC wildcard games will feature the 2 seed hosting the 7 seed and the 3 seed hosting the 6 seed. You got all that? Okay. And the 4 seed will host the 5 seed. So wild card weekend, the season for 2020. Now this is the part that you're going to be really interested in. All that stuff might be confusing. But if you're just a football fan and you want more football, you're going to get it. There will be 3 games, 3 wild card games on January 9th, Saturday, January 9th, and 3 games on Sunday, January 10th, 2021. So you're going to have a weekend of 6 playoff games in January. That's going to be awesome. The other thing I like about it, now I'm talking about how the Bengals are trying to improve, and everybody's like, are they going to be a playoff team? Are they going to do this? Are they going to do that? I mean, I haven't made my decision yet. It's looking like they're trying to. I want to see how the draft goes and how they address the offensive line and stuff. But with an extra wild card team, there's an extra shot for the Bengals to make the playoffs. Now, the thing is, though, if you are the last wild card team, and you get the lowest seed, it's going to be really hard for you to win the Super Bowl. But the point is, like, when the Bengals went to 5 straight playoffs, the way it should have worked out is you keep gradually every year, getting better, or at least trying to get better, and the Bengals never did. So if the Bengals get the last wild card or a wild card seed next year, and hopefully they'll win a playoff game, would be awesome. The thing is, you just try to keep advancing year after year and get the Super Bowl, So if you can get into the wild card and you get into the playoffs at all, and you can get that experience for your team, that's great. And plus, football fans, more playoff games? What more could you ask for? That's awesome right there. All right, moving on to the Bearcats and Trevon Scott. Trey Scott said the end of his college career will haunt him for the rest of his life. 3 weeks have passed since the NCAA tournament was canceled due to the coronavirus. Breakout, sorry. Scott said he feels worse now than he did the day the AAC tournament was called off. Again, he said it'll haunt me the rest of my life. You're like, well, why? Well, I think you know the answer. Because the question that'll never get answered, says Scott, is how would have it ended? Where would we have gone? You know, would they have made the NCAA tournament? Would it have ended at the AAC tournament? How would it happen? And that's something that everybody always wants to know. You know, when something's coming to an end, you want to know how's it going to end. It's like going to the end of a movie, a great mystery movie, and then you never find out who the killer is. Trey Scott didn't find out how his college career ended. It just ended. So that kind of stinks. And I feel his pain. I was so nervous and excited about the AAC tournament because the Bearcats were the number 1 seed. They had to, at least in my opinion, make it to the championship game to get to the NCAA tournament. It would have been so much fun to watch them do that. And what I really wanted to see John Brandon coach in the AAC tournament and the NCAA tournament. I just want to see how he handled it. He handled everything great this past year. From coming in as a new coach, players leaving, new players coming in, trying to mesh all that together, players leaving during the season, his father passing away. He went through a lot for his first year. And I really wanted to find out how it all come together and end, hopefully in the NCAA tournament. But unfortunately, none of us will ever find out. And Trey Scott says it's going to haunt him the rest of his life, which, yeah, you play college basketball and hopefully he'll get to play professional somewhere, but he'll always wonder, it's just like the Reds. Not the Reds, the Bengals. We always wonder what would happen if Carson Palmer hadn't hurt his knee, if Kimo Van Olhoffen hadn't took his knee out in 2005. Or Bearcat fans, again, what if? What if Kenya Martin hadn't broke his leg? It's all the same stuff. The stuff you can never find out about because something happened. Unfortunately, that's just life. And we all have, I'm sure you guys got stuff in your own life that, what if this didn't happen? Maybe this would happen. Who knows? The thing is, you can't control any of it. You just keep moving forward. Take it one day at a time. As I said in the rundown, you guys are fiending for some baseball, which I am. That's why I'm wearing all my red stuff. Fox Sports Ohio has got you covered. They will be replaying the 1975 World Series starting tonight, running through April 4th. Now, if you ask Boston fans, they apparently won it with Carlton Fisk's home run, hit the foul pole in 6 games. Wait, that doesn't add up. Oh, that's right. The Reds won it in 7. So, it's your time, my time, to watch one of the greatest baseball teams ever put together, the Big Red Machine. I was born in 75. I was only a couple months old, so I never got to watch this. I've seen highlights of it and everything. And I'm really hoping that they show the whole thing, like Kurt Gowdy and poofy-haired fancy boy, young Marty Brennaman, because he's on the broadcast. Show them their pregame. Show them coming in and out of breaks. Just show how baseball was presented in the 1970s. It'll look like ancient times compared to the way they do it now. But it'd still be just fun to watch it and see how it was done because that was it. They didn't have cable. There was no ESPN. There was no Fox Sports Ohio. There was no FS1. None of that stuff existed. You had your newspapers and you had maybe the 5 o'clock news and you had the game. And the World Series was it. There was nothing really else going on. Monday Night Football had started by then, but that was the only game in town. So just to watch the broadcast and watch how it happened and get to watch the Big Red Machine is going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you guys check it out. It's up. I don't have the time for it. I'm assuming it's 8 o'clock because that's when they've had all the other Reds replays, which is kind of weird. Fox Sports Ohio, do me a favor. If you're trying to make it feel like baseball is playing and normal, start the games at 7. Why are you starting at 8 o'clock? That's just a little pet peeve of mine. Just a little weird. Anyway, I've got some Facebook groups I like to share with you guys. Like I said, we can't go anywhere. We can't go to sports bars. We can't have discussions over a beer about Kenyon Martin breaking his leg or Carson Palmer ripping his knee or what could have happened if the Bearcats got to finish their season this year. But we can discuss it on different Facebook groups that I help run. They are Bengals Nation, Reds Country, and Bearcat Country. So go there, check them out. I hope you enjoy them. I post my show on there. If you guys are listening to me on the podcast, do me a favor. If it's Apple Podcast, do me a favor. Give me a 5-star review. And make sure you like the show and subscribe. So every time I do one of these, it pops right up. YouTube, you guys have been unbelievable. Since this whole pandemic has started, I think I had 150 people that subscribed to me. I'm up to 286. That is great. I really appreciate it. Keep telling everybody about me. And let's try to get this up to 300 as fast as we can. So, if you're watching the show on any of the Facebook groups or on my page, Sports with Strawberry Ice, or on my Twitter, Sports with Strawberry Ice, the handle is Jeff A. Trennepohl. That's TrennePohl. If you're getting this link on any of those, do me a favor. Go on to YouTube. If you don't have an account already, get yourself an account. Subscribe to my show so we can get to 300 as fast as we can. Like, subscribe, share. Tell all your friends about me. See you guys.